Welcome back. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about Bridge. I'm going to get you familiarized with it so you know where to look for certain things. And in the following lessons, we're going to get more detailed into certain areas of Bridge. All right. So as we can see here, we see a typical menu that you see set up in most applications: File, Edit, View, Window. Okay. Below this, you see certain icons that allow you to do things quickly. Here you can go back. If you want, go forward. You can reveal your file or look at recent files here, recent folders, excuse me. Okay. You also have the boomerang we talked about in the previous lessons, which allows you to go back to Photoshop or the last application that you used was open. In this next lesson, we're going to talk about how do you get photos from your camera. Here you can refine by looking at the review mode, batch, rename. We're going to do that. Look at file information. You can select a file and choose this icon, which will open up in Camera Raw, which is nice. In here you can look at the output, which is the same as this workspace as shown here, as PDF or web gallery. Okay. And these are workspaces, so I can choose Essential, as you see here, the one I mostly use, or you can choose Film Strip if you prefer, which gives you a bigger preview area, and the content panel displays your thumbnails here. You can click on each one to view each one. If you want, you could even shift click and select more than one, and it will display more than one. Maybe control click to add another one. Okay, up to you. Metadata shows you the good stuff. You can see the name of your file, the date it's created, the size, the type, the rating, the labels, the keywords. It goes on and on. Don't forget to scroll where you can see more information. Okay, here you can choose your star ratings if you want. Here you can choose your quality of previews. I just leave it on always high quality. You can sort by the default as file name, or you can choose other ones if you like. It's up to you. This will allow you to go ascending or descending. Okay, let me go back to Essentials workspace. Oh, by the way, you can pull this out to see more workspaces. It's up to you. I usually leave it right about here, but that's personal preference. You can select a photo, and if it needs to be rotated, you can rotate it here. Okay, here you can open up recent files. You can create a new folder, or you can delete. This is the path bar here. Okay, oops, excuse me, go back to CS5 here. This path bar can do more than you think, and we'll discuss what else it can do. It will amaze you. Let me double click here. And when you select a file, you see it in the preview panel here in a bigger way. The reason they have this preview panel, because let's say you had 100 pictures and you want to, and you know how they kind of look, so you decrease your thumbnails, but you want to see a bigger picture just in case. That's when you just click on one in the preview. That's where the preview comes in handy. You can click on these little dividers to expand your preview panel if you want. That's up to you. Okay. What's great about the preview panel? You can see JPEGs, TIFFs, GIFs, RAW files, and music. I'm going to turn the volume down here just a little. Actually, yeah. So see, you can see music, or you can see videos. Isn't that nice? So the preview allows you to see movies, audio, and images quickly. So that's very handy. Once you select one of the medias in your content area, which is located here in the middle, you can see the metadata that's associated with here, or the keywords that are associated with here. Okay? If you go further down here in this bottom area, this is the normal content setup you see here, but you can click on the details or list view. Okay, it's up to you. And remember, this is the thumbnail slider. So if you click on here, this will increase your thumbnails. Click here, will decrease them. Another way to do it is to press Control and use your mouse. If you have that roll wheel, that wheel in the middle, you can increase or decrease the size. And that comes handy too. On the left side is the favorites or the folders. Folders are your typical tree view that you see in Windows Explorer. For this lesson, I like to use favorites. And what that basically means is, let's say that you had a folder that you go to recently or you use a lot. You can select the folder, right click, and then choose Add to Favorites. Or if I'm right, you can do File add to favorites either way, and this will add it to the favorites. If you do not want that, you can just right click and choose remove from favorites. Okay, it did not remove it from our tutorial, just removed it from the favorites panel. Okay, this is the one that I'm going to use for our lessons, just so you know. Here you can sort the filter, you can sort by different filter types such as file, keywords, day created, a whole bunch of goodies. You can have collections, or in Photoshop Elements they call these albums. You can export to Facebook, Flickr, Photoshop, or save to a different hard drive or another hard drive, or external hard drive as you would say. Let's not forget that you can also do one more thing with Bridge, which is really interesting. If you press Control Enter, or press this little handy dandy icon over here, I'm going to press Control Enter, and this will change it to, I'm going to move it back over here, to the compact mode. And what is good about this compact mode is that it allows me to view what's going on here, and I can just drag the file into Photoshop to open it up. Okay, if you prefer that. Now what's even great about the compact mode, if you don't like the compact, you can go to ultra compact mode, which just looks like this. Okay, so it's up to you. Or you can go back to the regular. If you press Control Enter, it will go to the compact mode that you're used to, but if you press Control Enter again, it'll bring it back to the full mode. And one more interesting thing I just want to give you a heads up. If you go to Edit, Creative Suite Color Settings, Control Shift K, I have mine set on North American Pre-Press 2. This is preparation of content for common printing conditions in North America. CMY values are preserved, profile warnings are enabled. Now you could choose general purpose color settings for screen and print, profile warnings are disabled, or choose other different ways. But whatever setting you choose will synchronize all your applications for Adobe and will synchronize all of them for you at once. Okay? And what does this mean? Let me cancel that here because I have North America Pre-Press 2. If I open up Photoshop and I go to Edit, Color Settings, you'll see here this says North America Pre-Press 2, which gives me an RGB color space of Adobe RGB, which is a wide gamut space, which can include CMYK and sRGB and RGB, which I'd rather have a wide gamut space than a constricted one. This tells me that I'm using a US web-coded SWAP v2, which is common, and I have some dot games. Right here, preserve embedded profiles for RGB or CMY. I usually uncheck ask when pasting. I don't care. Missing profiles. If I'm dealing with files that may have missing profiles and I need to know that, then I'll do that, but I'm not going to be dealing with that, so I'm going to uncheck that. And then it says profile mismatches, ask when opening. I'm going to uncheck that because my working space is going to be RGB, which is going to be wide enough to accommodate it. I don't recommend that for anybody, but because I deal with this often on my own computer space, that's why I leave this disabled. Okay, but that's up to you. But I would suggest leaving this and this one checked. This way you know what's going on. It's always better to know what's going on than not. We'll leave it checked just to show you. Okay, we click OK. Now in the next tutorial, we're going to talk about how to get images into Bridge from your camera.